How's the Austin real estate market? Well, I'm Eric Peterson, broker and owner of Kopa Real Estate. In this video, we're going to cover the most recent real estate statistics for Austin, Texas, and talk about some of the more interesting things that I've seen in the Austin real estate market in the last 30 days. Let's get into it. So for the Austin MLS area, there were 1,465 sales in February 2026. That was down 6% from last year. Median sales price was $425,000, which is down just 1%, and the average sales price was $567,000, up 1%. Questions people have been asking me is, how long is it going to be until my home is sold? And so the average days on the market is 81 days, and that's from the time the home's listed until it goes under contract. Our original list to close price was 93.3%. and the over-under asking price was a negative 3%. So what that means is that a home might have started out at a higher price, reduced the price, and then accepted an offer that was 3% below that final asking price. There's currently 5.8 months supply of listings with 8,493 single-family homes currently on the market. If you look at the chart that I think is the most important, if you're going to look at any of the data for the Austin real estate market, it's the number of homes that are on the market. So I'm always like to compare it against last year, the year before, and then 2019, because that was the last year we had a quote unquote normal market. So you look at us here in early March, and we're about 1,500 active listings higher than we were last year. It looks like those lines are about to cross, but you can see what happened in 2025 is right around the end of March into around Easter period, we really saw an explosion of homes that came on the market. And so that's going to be the stat that we want to look at, is what's going to happen after spring break and after Easter, which is right at the beginning of April this year. By the time we do our next video, we'll know the answer to that question. The other important statistic, of course, is what's happening with mortgage interest rates. And so a couple of weeks ago, we saw mortgage rates tick back under 6%, and now they've gone right back up. And so what's happened is, as oil prices have gone up, the bond markets, they tend to feel like that's inflationary, that prices are going to go up. And typically when we see higher inflation, we see higher mortgage rates. And so we've seen rates go from under 6% to about 6.19% as far as the average rates. We are still getting quotes from mortgage lenders around the 6% mark. And remember, I'm not a mortgage lender, so I can't quote you individual rates for your situation, but you should take a look at that somewhere they've been trading between that period. Hopefully everything gets resolved sooner than later, of course, not just because of mortgage rates, and that we see mortgage rates settle back under that 6% mark for the rest of the spring and summer market. Something new for us is that we've started doing home selling webinars every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. You can sign up at kopaseminar.com, and in 1 hour from the comfort of your own home, you can find out everything you need to know to have a successful home sale. And here's something that people tell me when they come to our home selling seminars is they really appreciate getting information from somebody who's actively in the market. And so as I'm shooting this in the middle of March, we have 7 listings that are under contract today. And that's really important because the average real estate agent may sell 1 or 0 homes, and you want to be getting the most accurate, up-to-date information for your specific situation. And so some of the things that people have been asking me at my seminars, I think are probably interesting for you as well. One of them is, when you price your house, should you leave room for negotiating? And so this is a question that you want to ask yourself. And here's the thing that you want to consider. When your home comes on the market, the first 7 to 14 days, when buyers are looking at it and they're going to come and see your home in person, the emotion is about, is this the one? And they're excited, right? After your home has been on the market for a longer period of time, that emotion changes from, is this the one, to what's wrong with the house? And so your choice when you're selling the home is that your price, or do you want to sell to people at that excited emotion period, or you want to sell to them later on after they're going to be really looking for all the reasons why nobody else wanted to buy it? I also thought that this was interesting. I got this text message from one of our clients. We're about to put their home on the market in Cedar Park, and he sent me this message about another home nearby that came on the market. And this can be really challenging for sellers. We're coming on the market at a price that we've set, and another home comes on the market at like $200,000 more. And fortunately, our client is a very savvy person and understands that nobody's going to buy that other house, right? And so it can be confusing for people because then they look at it and they go, oh my gosh, I'm leaving all this money on the table. I need to increase my price $200,000. Truth is, that other house is never going to sell. And one of the things that I look at if I do get a client who's all of a sudden now concerned about it, I just look at it and say, well, let's kind of compare track records. So when I researched that agent's track record, here's what I found. They have 6 homes that are currently on the market. No homes are under contract. They sold 7 homes in the last year and had 9 homes not sell at all and were taken off the market. That's not a very good track record. Okay? And so that's really important when you're looking at who am I taking advice from. You really want to compare your track record of different real estate brokers, or maybe if you all of a sudden are looking at this and saying, oh my gosh, my house, we're going to come on the market too low. Take a look at what their track record is, because 6 homes on the market without one under contract already is not a good sign that they're giving people great advice in the active market, what's going on today. And that's a terrible track record. But you as a consumer, one of the really challenging things is that you look at all these real estate agents and people make videos and they make posts and all this activity, and it's very confusing to know, who do you trust, right? What is their track record? And so at the same time, I get asked often by other people, and I'm going to sell a house in California or wherever it is, or even when I recently had to sell a house myself in Virginia, I thought I'd pass on the framework of what I look for, whether I'm hiring somebody to sell a house for myself, or if I'm recommending an agent in California or anywhere around the country. And here's really what it is. So first off, because I understand economics 101, I will never, ever refer somebody, a friend or use somebody myself that works for one of the big box brokers who's trying to manipulate people into selling their home off market. It's just a non-starter. I'm never going to do that to somebody. There may be reasons to sell a home off market, but it's not because this big box broker is trying to increase their stock price. Second thing that I look for is that I would never recommend somebody that hasn't sold at least 24 listings in the last year. All right. Next thing that I would look at is I want to see that they have 30% of their listings under contract. That may not seem like a high number. You're probably thinking, oh, everybody is always going to sell every home right away. 30% is the metric that I use for my own business. As I shoot this, I think we're a little above 50% right now, but minimum 30%. The reason why is that many of the markets are changing and not for the better. And this means that the real estate markets are becoming more challenging for both sellers, even buyers, and certainly listing agents. And so I want to make sure when I'm recommending somebody that they're keeping their clients up to date with the most important information and the most recent information so that their clients can make good decisions to get their home sold. Okay. And finally, I want to see that they've sold at least 80% of the listings that they took over the last year. So you see in the case of this other agent, they sold less than half of the homes that they sold. That's really not very good track record. So I want to see at least 80 or maybe even up to 90% of the homes that they're selling go under contract and actually sell. If you're thinking about hiring a listing agent, I'd recommend that you consider this same framework. I rarely have a consumer or seller that's going to hire me contact me and be willing to look through and really compare these numbers between different listing agents, but you would have a better experience as far as selling your house if you did. And finally, we've already sold 3 homes that had been listed last year with another real estate agent, didn't sell. We got them on the market earlier this year, under contract, and already sold. And so I know many of you may have been having your home on the market last year, got frustrated, didn't sell. And so I wanted to give you hope that if that was your situation, get in touch with us. We specialize in repackaging, remarketing, and getting homes sold, getting the job done for you. Get in touch with me if you want to schedule a time on my calendar. You can do that at copaconsultation.com. Thanks so much for watching. Make it a great day.